For more on Comic-Con, I'm joined now by Afra Zhao Wang in Palo Alto, California. She's the host of Loud Murmurs, a Chinese language podcast on American pop culture. I guess you're probably disappointed you're up there in Northern California, not down there in all the action in Southern California in San Diego. Talk to me about this buzz about Marvel doing this film, perhaps about Shang-Chi, and there's a lot of talk, actually, I'm reading a lot on the internet, about Marvel really wanting to cast a Chinese actor for the big screen. Talk to me about the buzz and the importance of that.
I mean, this is wonderful. You know, among the 7,000 characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we finally have 2 Chinese superheroes. This is so exciting. And also, I'm really glad that Marvel really included this original Chinese comic creators to create those characters and to get into this production. One thing I was a little bit worried about is since, you know, a lot of Chinese culture and history is waved into those characters, such as, you know, the famous antagonist Chi Yu, as well as a lot of like ancient Chinese legendary, the characters from those legends like Nuwa and some other characters. I'm just a little bit worried about the sometimes misrepresentation, because Chinese people, their identity are strongly associated with this history and culture. They have this pride, ownership of the characters and the history. So when, you know, the teaser of Mulan's trailer appeared on the internet, a lot of culture critics criticizing, you know, Disney misrepresent the geography of China, misrepresent Mulan's like location as well as Mulan's makeup. So I'm really glad that Marvel really tried effort to diversify its production team and really localize this comic production.
Yeah, they've got to approach it with some sensitivity. Talk to me about Chinese millennials and how important that audience has become for, I mean, Marvel. I was looking at Avengers Endgame, raked in about $600 million in China. I mean, that's a big market for them, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. This is a huge money-making machine for Disney and for Marvel. The Avenger Endgame received this highest box office record in China, and like recently, the Spider-Man Homecoming movie is also the highest grossing Marvel film in China, in Chinese market. And this is like for millennia, I'm one of the, you know, this whole generation of watching animation growing up. I see a trend of this Chinese national comic or animation is rising. People are talking about those, are forging this community, are generating the subcultures and the memes and internet trend. Like animation just like intrinsically creates such an imaginary and inclusive community for a lot of millennials who are sometimes, you know, suffering from a lot of repetitive works, like the famous 996 kind of work schedule.
Of course, yeah, that's a big problem. Hey, let me ask you one final question before we let you go. Talk to me about just how important Comic-Con has become, because I was looking today, Arnold Schwarzenegger was there to promote the Terminator. Of course, we heard Tom Cruise there for Top Gun. I mean, this is big. It's a launching pad, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So as a lot of U.S. audience, you know, Chinese millennials are growing up watching Tom Cruise and all the other, you know, pop culture, those characters and those movies. So a lot of Chinese fans are pay a close attention to the Comic-Con in San Diego. And in China recently, there are like multiple local owned like Chinese Comic-Con are happening around. So, you know, this is definitely like really huge. It's a culture hit, no matter in the U.S. and in China.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.